Hello, everyone. David Allen here, host of Confession Radio and Podcast Whisperer. This episode is going to be a dual episode with a purpose. I want to start by saying thank you to everybody for listening to the shows, both of them, Confession Radio and Podcast Whisperer. I have been podcasting since 2009, and for the first time in my history, I have made iTunes top 100 podcasts. Number 5 is Podcast Whisperer, and 72 is Confession Radio, and they're climbing. Why I wanted to come on here and do this episode is simply to help you understand my journey since 2009 and how much of a passion project this really truly is. I'm involved with a lot of different podcasting communities on Facebook, and I see these people posting that, oh, I've been on for a month and I have no sponsors, and I've been doing this for a month and I only have, 200 listeners, and it is a passion project. It is not something that happens overnight. I've been doing it for a decade. That's 10 years I've been doing it for. And I love it, though. It's something that I love doing. It's something to get me out of my mundane life, out of my day job. Believe it or not, I have one of those. I have to. This doesn't make any money yet. And I've been saying that for years and years and years and years. And finally, I decided to buckle down and actually put in the work to make this really happen. And guess what? It's happening. For some of you, you have already heard this story, but I'm here to tell it again to the people who didn't. So let's start in 2009. A couple shows, Living Unleashed, Get Unleashed. And, I just been through it with different co-hosts. I talked to major celebrities like Dolly Parton, Taylor Dayne, Crystal Waters, Sharon Needles from RuPaul's Drag Race. I've talked to some major winners. Still didn't gain me any notoriety. You want to know why? Because the content wasn't great. The lesson that I've learned from that is that no matter who you have on your show, sure, it's going to bump up that episode, but you're not going to gain listeners for the rest of your niche. So you can have an A-list celebrity every single day, but if that's your show, then that's your show. That's perfect. That's what people want to hear. But if it's not your show and you're using it to gain notoriety, stop it now, because it's not going to do that. It's not going to help you. It'll help your numbers temporarily, boost them. Podcasting to me is all about the engagement. It's all about, are people truly listening? And not just for the one episode, but are they listening to my entire series? What am I doing right? What am I doing wrong? The challenges and the positives. So Confession Radio was born of that. And Confession Radio wasn't always Confession Radio. It was Confessions. It was Confessions with David Allen. It has evolved and reinvented itself 100 times before it became what it is today. And it will continue to evolve and continue to reinvent. Confessions with David Allen started as a vignette on a Living Unleashed show, podcast. And it evolved from a 5-minute segment to me giving advice. Loved it. Sat here for hours. It was a daily show, 7 days a week. I would sit here for hours and just read people's problems and just give them advice because, I have a lot of advice to give. Okay. So then it got so popular, it became its own show. So then it was Confessions with David Allen. I was like, this is great. So I started getting even more issues, more problems, people needing advice left and right. I had to take a little bit of a break because, life got in the way, finances, all that good stuff. So then I was like, I don't know what to do. I don't want this to end. So I decided to give to listeners. So I started reaching out saying, hey, I need volunteers to read these issues and give us an answer. And in return for your time, because your time is just as valuable as mine, you can, if you have a book, if you have something that you're selling, something that you want to talk about, maybe a YouTube channel or a website that, maybe you're a life coach and you want to help your business, please, by all means, mention that. Great. Perfect. Confession Radio is born because it wasn't just about me giving advice. It was about the listeners giving the advice. Listeners would write in and other listeners would give advice. Gives you a whole new diversity, right? And that's what it is today. So then I added the segment, This Is My Story. These people will send in a video to me or an MP3 of their life experiences. And sometimes, man, it's so gut-wrenching. It is so gut-wrenching, and it hurts. Oh, does it hurt? It even hurts me listening to them sometimes. I'm like, holy crap. And again, that's the evolution of Confessions with David Allen, Confession Radio, your show might have 10 different names. One thing I recall from the interview on Get Unleashed with Sharon Needles was that she had 10 different drag names before she became Sharon Needles and became, everyone knows who she is now. And for who you don't, just Google it. She's the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race. But I think that, that's such a great thing. And most actors, actresses, singers, hell, even I went through different names in my career on the radio and podcasting, Living Unleashed, Get Unleashed, Between Us Girls, Confession Radio, Podcast Whisper. You name it, I've done it all. Even in life, my name has changed, but that's just the way it is. That is Confession Radio in a nutshell. Let's talk about Podcast Whisper. I launched this March 1st, 2019, this year. Okay, March 1st, 2019. I launched it, and it's already on iTunes New and Noteworthy. It's already charting in the top 100. And that's because I wanted to take an idea, the journey I just spoke to you about in Confession Radio, and share it with all of you to help you grow. My goal in life is not to have to work for anybody. I want to work for myself. I want to do things for myself. I want to take a vacation when I want to take a vacation. I want to do things when I don't feel like going to work. I don't have to go to work. I want to share that with everybody. And that's why I'm here. So I came on to advise all of you. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes a while. I did a segment on Confession Radio called Are You Willing? And also the second segment to that is 3 rules successful people do not talk about. And one of them is time. Sure, you want it to happen in 3 years, but are you willing to put in 13? That's the question. $50,000 turns into $350,000. So are you willing to do that? That's the question. Podcast Whisper is totally your show. And I have you guys to thank for that. I truly do, for listening and allowing me to review your podcasts. So I want you to know in the wrap up here that I'm here for you guys. I'm here to help. I'm here to do what I need to do. And it could happen to you. I'm not here to gloat. I'm not here to say, oh, my show is better than yours, because I don't believe that at all. But a lot of you have asked me, what makes you qualified to do this? I think I just proved my point. And it could happen to you too. Now, I'm not guaranteeing you any type of success by saying that if you listen to my advice that I give you, you're going to be successful and you're going to make all this money. I'm not guaranteeing that at all. I'm walking you through my trials and my tribulations with podcasting. Research is number one. Before you even launch, it starts with an idea, right? So you need to find that idea and you need to find out, is somebody else doing this? If they are, don't copy them, because then you become your own competition. You want to enhance what they're doing. So they're doing it this way. I'm going to try it this way. The second bit to this is launching. Launching is a huge deal. 3 episodes at launch. You could do a trailer, which I was talking to someone yesterday and I found this very brilliant. And the other things I'm constantly learning, and we'll get into that in a second. But I was talking to another podcaster on Facebook yesterday, and he said to me, I released a trailer so I could put it on iTunes, Spotify, all these other places. So that way when my show launches, it'll already be there. Brilliant! I never thought of that. Because you want to be on iTunes, you want to be on Spotify, you want to be on all these distribution channels where people can listen to your podcast and discover it, right? Brilliant. So he did a 2-minute trailer, put it out there so it'll be ready when he launches. Game changer for me. So guess what? There's your 3 episodes. The first episode was a trailer for him. And then he's going to release 2 other episodes when it's time for him to launch. And guess what? There's his 3 episodes. But what a brilliant concept. The other part to this too is that you want to be open to ideas like that. My problem coming up through podcasting was I thought I was the best in the world, as everybody. It's like the parent with the baby. They have the cutest baby in the world. With podcasting, I didn't want to listen to anybody else. I wanted to say, I had the best. I knew what I was doing. I have a radio career. You don't. What do you know about this? That's absolutely not true. Be open to ideas. Get on other podcasts promoting your podcast. Have them on your podcast promoting their podcast. It's a nice little ecosystem we have going on here, guys, is podcast listening to other podcasts, podcast reviewing other podcasts. That's what's called the community of support, and that's what we need. We don't need people bringing us down. We need people helping raise us up. And the biggest lesson I'm going to teach you guys in this episode, celebrate everybody's wins. Don't be that energy vampire where somebody is more successful than you are and you're bitter about it. Celebrate their wins. Be happy for them. Understand. Ask questions. Oh, great. How did you do that? That's cool. Can I set up a conference call with you? Maybe we could talk a little bit about this. Maybe you can help me. These podcasters, some of them, most of them are probably more than willing to listen and help you. Because not only are you getting information from them, but you're also giving them information as well. So you can help each other. And that's what Podcast Whisperer was designed for. To help you. Just know your energy. Make it pop. Find your niche. Find your niche. What category are you in? Before you launch, I challenge you to go to iTunes and look at the categories there and say, this is what I want to do a podcast about. What category would this be? Because in that way, that's going to help you become number one in that category. It's more than a numbers game for everybody. Please understand that. Yes, it's all about the numbers and how many downloads you get and things of that nature. But it's more than that, too. It's your engagement. Are people listening because they like the show, or are they listening because you have a particular guest on that they like? We want to capture the audience as much as possible. We want them to subscribe. We want them to listen to every episode that we're putting out. Otherwise, we're just throwing shit out into the universe for no reason, right? So we want to make it engaging. We want to help it. The only advice I can give you about this particular subject, content. Promotion. Hashtag. I could say everything 3 times. But content. Find your niche. Find your niche. Find your audience. What do your audience want? Listen to them. Listen to other podcasts. Be on their shows. Promote your show. Have them promote their show. It's an even exchange. Thank you again, everybody, for making this such a huge success. And I cannot wait to have these 2 shows grow with you. I love it. Thank you so much again. Happy potting, everybody. And stay tuned.